So now I'm going to show a hand washing activity that's more of a process activity. So they won't have to be at the sink running water while they soap up their hands. And it's kind of something to just get them used to the motions and get them to be able to practice the motions for as long as they want, and to really immerse themselves in the sensory experience of washing their hands. So I'll show you the materials that you will need. A small pitcher of water, and I've used a Pyrex pitcher. Pyrex is pretty unbreakable, and a lot of people have these around their house, so just something that you can find in your kitchen. I've gone ahead and put some water in here just for the sake of the video, but you can have your child help you, showing them how to carry it with two hands to the sink. Get a little bit, carry it back. I also have a tray and a bowl. So this is just a mixing bowl from my house. So again, just finding things from your kitchen or that you have around the house and putting them together are great ways to make a practical life activity. I've included a large dish towel for cleaning up any spills, and also a hand towel for drying hands when you're finished, as well as a small thing. This is just a travel thing of soap, but again, like I mentioned in the other hand washing video, you can cut a bar of soap into fourths, or you can have a little travel thing that you filled with just a minimal amount of soap, which is what I would recommend for this activity, since it's a little bit more child directed. So that way they're not dumping a whole bunch of soap into the water. That way they can be successful without us having to intervene in the activity so much. So in practical life, we like to do things from left to right to get them that sense of left to right movement that they will use throughout all of their activities in the Montessori environment, especially with reading, so it helps indirectly prepare them for that. So I'll show that today when I'm giving this lesson. So I'll start out with, like I said, with helping the child get a little bit of water and showing them how to slowly pour it into the bowl. I'm gonna dry this. Got my hands all wet. Now I'm ready for soap. Just need a little bit of soap. Now I'm going to dry my hands. And at this point, I would either have a bucket or some kind of pitcher. I forgot to mention this in the materials. I have this pitcher that's pretty lightweight. If you have a smaller version of this, that would be even better. But I like it because it has a handle, you can get a good grip of it, and it has a lid so that water won't be sloshing out all over the place. But if you also have a bucket that has a handle on top, that's a great way for them to transport the dirty water back to the sink. So I'll show how I would have them clean up this activity. Dry my bowl with the towel. And then I would show them how to carry this with 2 hands back to the sink and dump out the dirty water. So that's a typical hand washing activity that you would see in a Montessori classroom. What I have at my house, what I'm doing this on, is just a coffee table that I've put a tablecloth on. So a child could do this activity just standing up at the table, and you could have it all set up and ready for them. Or you could have it something that's like put away on your shelf, and they could bring it out to a table or counter space that you have for them to work at. And let's see what else. Hopefully this is an activity that you could supervise and observe how your child does it. They may be really interested in just pumping the soap out and getting their hands really sudsy. So just kind of observing what part of the process they're really interested in, whether they need some help with different aspects of the activity. For a toddler, you may just want to give a bowl with a little bit of water in it already and give them a little piece of bar soap and have them scrub their hands, and then you can kind of show them how to clean up. And as they get older and more familiar with the activity, they'll be able to be more independent with it. Another idea that you may want to include is a small apron to protect their clothing, so they're not getting their clothes all wet, because when a young child does this activity, they will inevitably get wet clothes a lot of the time, especially when they're first practicing with it. So don't expect them to be perfect. They may not be able to watch an entire lesson of you doing this, but they might want to get in and get their hands in sooner than you're finished. I know that's the case a lot of times with my toddlers, and I usually just allow that and help them with each step after they've kind of watched one part of it. Then I kind of let them get their hands in there and help them with the next steps. So I hope that this has given you a helpful activity that you can use at home, and I'll see you again for the next one. Thanks.